Hello there, it's welcome back to the Waifus. I am Sefhi, and today we're gonna be talking a little bit about mana and the first impressions on this character. Honestly, pretty good. I would say pretty decent. I think this is the future of what Shift Up wants to do with new character releases. They are either meta or they are elemental characters, niche characters for people who want to min-max their accounts, for the most part raids and the end game, which right now is Anomaly Interception. So before we talk about her, as usual, leave a like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. We're trying to reach 10k this year. And also thank you, Scarrow, for letting me test on your account, because I am poor in resources. In my account, I got to overload her, but I got only one attack line. Scarrow got one elemental line. He also got pretty lucky with the rolls, to be honest. But still, I've been testing a little bit. We're gonna be talking about comparisons between her and Alice, of course, since that's what everyone is talking about, the replacement for Alice, and also about Wind versus Sakura, since she's the only other DPS we have in this element right now. So, once again, let's start a little bit. Also important, this is like a first impressions. Tomorrow or the day after, I'll make a full, proper review. Right now, this is going to be talking about initial impressions after a few hours of testing. So, let's start with, in general, how to build her. Because right now, I think she's a pretty simple character to build. As usual, as an assault rifle, and like most characters, you want elemental, max ammo, and then attack. The same basic lines you want absolutely everywhere. Now, every time you get a character that gives themselves a lot of damage, a lot of attack, you can leave attack as the last priority. So elemental and max ammo always first, and then attack as your third priority. Because we are moving into this elemental content, which is what we're using instead of focusing on using characters outside their elements. So I would say that's the priority for the lines. You could get also some hit rate, since assault rifles can benefit from that, but not a lot. It's a line or two is fine. And then crit as usual as the filler lines. When it comes to her skills, it's pretty interesting because right now I think that a skill 1 at level 7, it's more than enough for your recovery HP, right? You're getting already like a 1.7 or 1.6, whatever it is, which is more than enough. This procs for everything. She gets the resurrect anyway, and you're getting a good bunch of attack itself as well. I think where you need to focus a lot of your resources is going to be a skill 2 for multiple reasons. But the first one is that if you want to use her as an SBS battery or as an SBS enabler, whatever you want to call it, she needs to be at least level 9 to get 0.17 right here. This is what Alice gives her. 0.175 something is what Alice gives her, if I am not wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. At the level 10, it's a little bit better than what Alice gives SBS. So it's at least level 9 on her skill 2. And then her burst, you could be going from 7 to 10, depending on if you want her to be, again, a DPS or just you're using her for SBS. If you're using her only for SBS, you can get away with like a 7, 10, 4. Perfectly fine. If you want more damage, then you probably want like a 7, 10, 7, and it's gonna be a lot better. And then Cube, of course, as usual, you want your resilience. If you get enough max ammunition, you can go Bastion. She has like a 1.67 reload speed. Okay, that's it about that. Let's talk a little bit about team compositions, because I think that's like the worst part or the worst thing that she has right now. So her skill 2, like you all know, is giving to one ally with the longest basic charge time, 0.66 or 0.8 or 0.18 at max level of charge time reduced. The problem is that SBS is one of the shortest reload times we have in the game for rocket launchers at the 0.3. So you will never get this buff if there is anyone on your team that's a rocket launcher or a sniper. There is like barely any characters, I think, that are faster than SBS. Scarrow, what is this team? So if we talk about her, right, Scarrow, sorry for breaking your team, just checking in here. At the moment you put a rogue, let's say, and then you're trying to put mana, and then you put your SBS, right? Now rogue is still in this charge time from mana instead of SBS. If you put something else, if you put your Alice, she is still in this. If you're putting any other assault rifle, even if we talk about B1s, for example, right? Doesn't have to be rogue, can be also the killer wife. She is gonna be still in this. So in a way, mana does enable SBS, but then you have to worry a lot about team compositions, which once again, for people who are raiding, who have already multiple teams built, this is good. But for people who are more casual, who already have like a main team and they don't want to be changing every single time just because one unit, I'm pretty sure you can skip mana. Again, I would recommend pulling for one copy if you can. She is pretty good, and in terms of damage, we can talk about that if you guys want. But outside of enabling SBS, you will not see her a lot unless it's elemental content related, right? Which is already kind of limiting itself. So if we check this one here, SBS plus mana, full auto, SBS is doing 10 billion, right? And then if we go with Alice on manual, SBS is doing 12 billion, which again, this is because mana is level 8 on the skill 2. If you were to level this up, it's gonna be a little bit more even out. As you can see on my account, I was using a 2.2 and then 2.3 while using my Alice. So once again, this depends on your account, of course, and a lot of the investment you have, but that was both of the results we got. And then if we're talking about, like, for example, Mana versus Sakura, it's gonna be pretty close, even if you're seeing here 2.7 versus 3.5, because this Sakura, it's a core 7 Sakura, level 5 gear, okay, skills 10, 10, 10, and she has a doll at phase 0. And I'm not sure if Mana has a doll or not, we can check. But Mana is not even 10, 10, 10. So we have no doll, 8, 8, 10, right? Level 5, really bad lines, and doing less than 1 billion in difference. Which again, if we come here, she has 2 attack, 2 elementals, and Mana has only 1 elemental, also different in dues. So it's not that different if we were to put both of them at core 7 and the same 2 attack, 2 elemental lines. Mana is going to be catching up, most likely even doing more damage, depends on the situation, of course. But as you can see, that already makes her a pretty good character. Like, she's a good elemental unit. I don't think she's like gonna be top tier DPS anytime soon, but she is a nice addition to Wind, because this was one of the most lacking elements up until now, and it's still one of the most lacking elements. We have only 3 DPSs right now. You have Mana, you have SBS, and then you have Sakura. Those are your 3 main DPS or damage dealers here. You have Guilty if you wanted to invest in her, but it's kind of lacking as well. But once again, if you care about the rates, I think it's worth getting 1 copy. If you are a casual player or a new player, I don't think this is a mandatory character to have. If you don't have SBS, this is a character you can skip completely, considering we are getting alts for a couple characters that people found in the game already, and that we are getting also the Evangelion collab next month on February. That is already 2 limiteds at least, plus another 2 limiteds before the Evangelion, I think, or after, with the new characters, which is Must and Anchor, and they are both looking amazing. Just find around, probably in YouTube you will find them, if not on Discord communities as well. So all that jumping aside, it looks like Shift Up is trying to pull characters that are not mandatory to get, and that are more for the people who really want to either min-max specific elements, specific teams, or who care about the end game, or if you want to go for your waifu. The good thing is that she is a decent character. I hope Shift Up stops doing the really bad characters, the Clays and Base, right? Those characters that have no usage in the game, and unless they get a treasure and really make them good, we'll never see usage. If we keep getting characters like Mana, I would be happy, in the sense of, okay, you can min-max if you want, if not, you can pull only for your waifus, and she's not limited, so you can put her on your wishlist. That said though, that's gonna be it for the first impressions on Mana, my opinion on how to build her and where she's excelling at. All that jumping aside, that's gonna be it for this video. As usual, do let me know how you guys are feeling right now about Mana, and if you think it's worth pulling for her or not. And if you did pull, how expensive was getting her. That said, good luck with your pull dinner rates. I'll see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。